Yo guys, welcome back, it is Ripe again, back with episode 33 of our Reddit series, and I hope you're ready to get annoyed by some entitled people. Today we got a crazy dog owner, a woman who's too fat to fit into a helicopter, and last but not least, as a bonus, a creepy, infuriating story from rslash Let's Not Meet. So sit back, relax, and let's hop right in. EM and her fur baby. This was a good 10 years ago, and I was studying from home one day, and this huge dog walked up to my front door and sat down, wagging its tail at me as it looked into my house. I could see a phone number on the collar, and having had a traumatic experience as a kid with a big dog, I got the number through the screen door. The dog dropped onto my outside doormat and settled to sleep. The position of the dog essentially blocking me in as the door opened outwards and the dog was right up against the door. I called the owner and it went like this. Hey, my name is OP and I have this dog which is out the front of my house. I got your number from the collar. It's describing the dog. Normally, a good pet owner would go, "Oh my god, I'm on my way." But the EM was yelling,
"I have a newborn and I've just gotten to the shops, so you will have to wait. You've got no idea how hard it is to have a baby."
I'm sorry, but the dog needs to be collected. It's been wandering around on the street and it could get hurt.
"Then put it in your house."
I cannot do that. I have a fear of dogs.
"Then get over it. It's your responsibility because you found him."
No, it's not. And I actually cannot do anything if I wanted to at this point, as the dog has blocked my front door and there's no other exit to my house.
"Push the dog out of the way. Honestly, it's not that hard. He's a sweet dog, so there's no reason for you to be scared of him."
At this point, the dog wanders off my property, perhaps heard shrill voice of his owner on the phone and moved away from it. Oh, actually the dog just left my property. It's on public property now. I live on a hill where cars fly down that road real fast. It's not safe.
"Go get it. I'm doing my shopping and you're just going to have to wait."
Look, I'm calling you to let you know that your dog is wandering around on the streets and it is not safe. And she hung up on me. So I called the council, who sent animal control over to collect the dog. They don't put them down, they hold and make the owner pay expenses when they collect the animal. The dog decided to come back to snooze on my doormat and wandered out to greet the animal control people when they arrived. So a whole 2 minutes between wandering off and returning, and decided to hang with me. When I explained to animal control what the owner had said to me, they were horrified and noted it in their records as a concern about the dog's welfare. As the lovely animal control ladies left, she said, "The owner is going to regret this because she has to pay a $110 fine before we will return the dog to her. That will teach her to take better care of her dog." Anyway, a good 4 to 5 hours later, I get a phone call from the entitled person. "Hello?
"Where's my dog?"
Pardon? Who is this?" Okay, so I was having a little bit of fun.
"My dog, where is it? What is your address so I can collect it from you?"
Oh, you're the lady I found a few hours ago about the dog you abandoned. I heard some man in the background say something like,
"What the hell?"
I presumed at that point I was on speaker and that the dog was his and he was the baby daddy and made a really poor choice of partner when he procreated. The EB gushing,
"Not abandoned. I'm ready to collect my puppy now. I asked you to look after him for me, so where are you now, so I can collect my baby?"
I said that I could not restrain it.
"What? You could not even bother putting him in your house or your backyard?"
No, I told you of my fear of dogs, plus the dog blocked my access by lying up against the door.
"I told you to restrain him, so where is he? I want my baby."
I don't know. It's been 5 hours. Try the road, under someone's tire, for the little you cared before. If you're lucky, then he got picked up by the council, but you didn't really seem to care that much about the dog when I called before.
"What? It is your responsibility."
I then hung up. Alright guys, I have to ask this. Since I'm personally also afraid of big dogs, have you guys ever been in a similar situation where you got intimidated by someone else's pet and the owner did not seem to give a damn about you or his own pet? Also, if you have witnessed any other entitled pet owner stories, please tell them in the comments or on r/ripe stories. I know she's fat, but give her a ride. Just a little backstory. So I work at a helicopter company, and one of the things we do is give aerial tours around our city. While we wait for the customers, we chill and wait in a little trailer, which is also where our POS system and tickets are located. On the side of the trailer, we have a sign saying max weight 300 pounds. This is because the helicopter we fly is a Robinson R-44, which is a mid-size helicopter with a max useful load, meaning max weight of passengers, cargo, etc., of around 994 pounds. From now on, EH will be the entitled husband and W will be the wife. But she was actually super respectful and did not act entitled at all. So a guy pulls up with an old minivan leaning to one side. Me, hi, welcome to our helicopter company. Are you all looking to fly today?
Not me, just my wife.
The EH responded. Okay sir, well here are our prices and different packages.
I just want the cheapest one, nothing fancy. Don't try to sell things to me that I don't want.
Okay sir, not a problem. I signal our pilot to hold off on starting the bird until we can make sure that she will actually fit in the bird. The wife finishes paying and hands me the tickets. We do our small pre-flight brief and head over to the bird. I was 16 at the time and still new to the company, so my boss came over to help me to see if she could fit. She gets in the bird and we try to put the seat belt on her, but the belt is about a foot away from the buckle. This is where our problems start. Me, damn, I cannot get it on.
You're not even trying.
Sir, we are all pulling on the seatbelt and it's still about a foot away from the buckle.
I don't care, give her a seatbelt extension.
Sorry sir, but we don't have those.
What? What kind of helicopter company does not have extensions?
The boss at this point steps in.
Hey, you do not yell at my employees, let alone a young man like him. Who the hell are you to tell me what I can do and cannot do?
Stop yelling, I'm too big, it's my fault. The wife screams.
No, it's this company's fault. You have clearly made my wife upset, so give her a ride or I'm suing you.
Huh, on what basis?
Emotional damage.
At this point, the wife is in tears over her husband's behavior and our pilot is trying to calm her down. Meanwhile, once me and my boss hear emotional damage, we realize that this guy is crazy and we need to get him away from our helicopter before he does something.
Sir, you need to go,
my boss says.
Not until you give my wife a ride.
Sir, we already told you that since she's too big, we cannot give her a ride due to safety issues.
Like what?
Sir, if our pilot somehow manages to have a hard landing, the seat can pan and break, and she could break her back, neck, and even cause damage to the aircraft, and we would get fined, lose our licenses, and maybe even the company.
That sounds like a personal problem. Now stop calling my wife fat and give her a ride.
Sorry sir, but the answer is no. This back and forth argument keeps on going on for about 10 minutes, at which point the wife calms down and decides to leave. The man finally realized that his wife left and he ran away while yelling F you and spitting in our trailer while leaving. That was the last time I have seen that man, and fast forward about a year, I'm now 17, working an awesome job for a high schooler, and I'm going on my second year and studying to get my pilot's license. The reason I wrote this was because a couple weeks ago the wife showed up, she has lost over 200 pounds and is looking great. We decided to give her a nice extended lake tour for free with our pilot who used to fly Black Hawks in the military, so to say the least, she had an awesome flight with some pretty fun maneuvers. Best part of the whole story? She left him for another, better man. You could say she has also lost 200 pounds of entitled a-hole. So basically, she lost 400 pounds at once. That's something to be proud of. For the bonus episode today, we will read r/let's not meet. This is basically a subreddit about creepy encounters people had, and as it says in the title, they don't ever want to meet these people again. Man on train decides he does not like how I sit and tries to intimidate me. This happened to me about a month ago, but it still boggles me. 2 points of background to make this story make sense. I live in Tokyo and commute via those famously crazy crowded trains daily. There is a kind of unspoken agreement that everyone works together to make this suck as little as possible. People for the most part hold their backpacks in front of them, man don't man spread, etc. But that's when the trains are full. About 2 stops before mine, the train goes from sardine can to everyone on this train could lay on the seats and have room left over, so usually I can sit down at this point. Second, I'm not a Japanese woman, very obviously so, even when I'm in my white dress t-shirt and pencil skirt like all the other office drones. I am very often the only obviously non-Japanese woman on my train in the morning. But despite my appearance, I am fluent in Japanese. So one day I sit down when the train empties out, headphones in, mobile game going on, ready to enjoy the 10 minutes of sitting I get on my hour commute. I'm sitting with my legs crossed, but there's maybe 10 people in the whole car, so I'm not in anyone's way. I'm tuned out when all of a sudden a hand reaches out and grabs my bare knee, and by the way, I am in a skirt. I of course jolt straight out of my skin, rip out my headphones and look up at the hand's owner. It is some skinny old Japanese dude, maybe 60s, and he points at my legs and then at other people on the train. Again, a maximum of 10 in a car that can hold 50 plus easily and probably held about 80 10 minutes ago. In slightly broken English, he says,
"You must not cross legs."
I'm so bewildered by this that I start to tell him in Japanese, "The train is not crowded right now, I'm not in anyone's way." But he doesn't like this answer, so he starts to reach for my legs again, presumably to uncross my legs himself. I, liking even less of this, summon up my loudest non-scream, "Don't touch me!" And thankfully, this is enough to get him to stop that, as another thing you don't do on trains here is make a fuss. Sadly though, yet another thing you don't do here is get involved. So despite a woman all but screaming, "Don't touch me!" it is some foreign woman causing trouble. Best not to get involved, etc, so no one comes over. So while I have made it clear that I will not stand for physical confrontation, this old dude still feels comfortable enough to stand directly in front of me, nearly knee to knee, looming over me while he repeats endlessly,
"You must."
He did this for at least 5 minutes, but I did not move. I did not blink or break eye contact. I started plan B through P of how to get off this train at the next stop. Thankfully, he gave up before the next stop, shaking his head and calling me
"Rude woman"
in Japanese before wandering off. Still take the same train, but haven't seen him since. Let's not meet again, leg police, lest you find out what happens when you loom over a girl at dick punting height. Basically, act like an a-hole and get treated like one. But I would argue that this guy would have deserved a nice little kick to his crown jewels, if you catch my drift. But anyway guys, if you enjoyed r/let's not meet, I will definitely continue with it because I love that subreddit. There are a lot of crazy stories on there. So guys, that was the content for today. Thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. I cannot thank you guys enough. But remember,
post some star emojis in the comments because my kid deserves it. And I demand to speak to the manager.
Alright guys, see you tomorrow for the next video.